Hey everyone. So we all know that digital marketplaces sometimes just suck. You get marketplaces like Sony and Microsoft who just really just want to take advantage of you, and then you get things like Steam where Steam actually really likes to give the buyer what they pay for, which is so crazy to me that you have to basically beg for the bare minimum nowadays when you buy a game or you buy a piece of media or something like that, you have to basically beg to have the licensing ownership of it because you don't technically own that. You don't technically own shit nowadays, and it's most likely because of these, bigger game companies thinking that they can just take your fucking things away. California has circumvented that problem by creating a new law that digital storefronts, they have to basically tell the end user and inform them that they are actually not buying the game or piece of media that they are, buying. They are purchasing a license that can be taken away at any time. And I think that's pretty stupid. Like, I don't know why that can even be sold, Like, you shouldn't be able to do that, or they should have some sort of, like, I guess, refund, like, structure in place if you buy the game and then 10 years later down the line they decide that they want to take that game off the shelf. Okay, now you should get a full refund for that, like a long-term form of renting that ends when the company says it ends, which is still bad, but like, what are you gonna do? I guess this is brought to us by The Verge. California Governor Newsom, not Newman, Gavin Newsom has signed a new law, AB 2426, to combat disappearing purchases of digital games, movies, music, and ebooks. The legislation will force digital storefronts to tell customers that they're just getting a license to use the digital media rather than suggesting that they actually own it. When the law comes into effect next year, it will ban digital storefronts from using the terms like buy or purchase unless they inform customers that they are not getting unrestricted access to whatever they're buying. Storefronts will have to tell customers they're getting a license that can be revoked, as well as provide a list of all restrictions that come along with it. Companies that break the rule could be fined for false advertising. Damn it, I don't think fining a big company, $5,000 is enough. That is a slap on the wrist to these people. Obviously, I don't know what the fine is here. They don't say, but it should just be a blanket $100,000 fine because that is a decent chunk of money out of a corporation. Now, it's still a slap on the wrist compared to what, like Microsoft, Ubisoft, and fucking Sony make, like a second, but still, like, it at least discourages them a little bit. Who knows? Maybe it could be like that, but I think that is a great thing. It has been like an epidemic recently that Ubisoft and so many different things can just pull fucking things that you paid for years ago. They can just pull it away from you like nothing, and then you get nothing in return. That's just straight up evil, I don't, there's no other way of painting that picture. It's just evil. The article continues, the new law won't apply to stores that offer permanent offline downloads and comes as a direct response to companies like PlayStation and Ubisoft. In April, Ubisoft started deleting the crew from players' accounts after shutting down servers for the online-only game. And last year, Sony said it would remove purchased Discovery content from users' PlayStation libraries before walking back the move. As retailers continue to pivot away from selling physical media, the need for consumer protections on the purchase of digital media has become increasingly more important. California Assembly member Jacqui Irwin, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, I'm really sorry, said in a press release, I thank the governor for signing AB 2426. Ensuring the false and deceptive advertising from sellers of digital media incorrectly telling consumers they own their purchases becoming a thing of the past. Forcing storefronts to disclose that they're just selling licenses won't stop them from taking away digital purchases, but it will at least make people more aware that what they're buying can be taken away at any time. Which I think is a good thing to make people aware of. We can't force these companies to do a forced refund. That's too far, though. That's too far. It is a good thing to have people aware of the fact that they don't own shit. It's also like really sad to think that this is the way the world is moving, you know? I don't know why. Physical media is a day of the past. It's a thing of the past. It's cringe. It's physical. Everything needs to be online only. Free to play, live service, and nothing else. Microtransactions are the way of the future. Obviously, I'm kidding. Everything I just said probably put shivers down every gamer's spine and put shit in the diapers of so many gamers that it's probably, you know, equivalent to that scene in SpongeBob where he's showing Patrick the amount of dirty diapers that they have to take care of. I don't know why this wasn't put into effect sooner, because honestly, this seems like something that should just go worldwide. You know, this doesn't seem like something that should be restricted to just California. It doesn't make sense to not have protection on the stuff that you buy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like putting your wallet condom on. You know, this is a protection for you before you dive into the unsanitary Sony butthole that is the PlayStation Store, or really any of these terrible, greedy corporate fucking things. I don't know what they call them. They're buttholes, I guess. Anyways, it's like putting that on, and it's a great thing. It should be, you know, more widespread and hopefully gets picked up by the rest of the world sooner rather than later, because, you know, having protection on the things that you buy is a great thing, you know, obviously. If you spend close to $80 on a new video game, you should have the right to play that video game for as long as you want. Not until the publisher makes it unavailable because their licensing ran out. That's where, you know, that's where game preservation and emulation comes into play, you know? If these companies start switching to digital-only formats, so take the PS5 Pro, for example, or the Xbox Series S, or, you know, any of these other number of digital-only consoles, and I guess the entirety of PC gaming. I'm a big believer in physical media. I had a big game collection, and I had to get rid of some of them. I like to collect video games. I like to, you know, actually have a physical collection of video games, because one day Sony could just take all of my PlayStation games away from me. All of the ones that I own digital licenses to, they could just take them away because either a deal with, you know, a deal with Microsoft ends or whatever. Okay, here's one. Take for example, Doom Eternal. Obviously, that game came out when Bethesda was its own company and it wasn't owned by Microsoft. But now that it is owned by Microsoft, Sony may have to make some, you know, some new things going on here, like a new deal with Bethesda. I'm not sure if this is how this works. You know, if someone knows more about this, please tell me in the comments, because I'm actually kind of interested in this. But, you know, they published that game. And so if Sony wants to keep that game on their consoles, they would have to probably keep paying, you know, Bethesda, I don't know, $10,000 each year or something like that to keep it up there. I don't know. Something like that, right? You know, keep them happy. And Sony, what if they just say, all right, I don't actually want Doom Eternal on my console anymore because it costs too much to keep it running. So then they're like, okay, we're just going to pull it off of everyone's consoles. I would lose access to Doom Eternal, at least on my PlayStation. I still have it on Steam because they recently had a crazy sale where you could get every Doom game for like $30, which is actually less than what I bought Doom Eternal for when it was on sale on the PlayStation Store. It's things like that that just kind of makes me worried for the actual future of, you know, video games and everything like that. Because I am a very big, you know, believer in emulation. And some of these games that are coming out digital only on consoles will have zero way of actually preserving them, you know? There's like no feasible way for these games to be then, you know, preserved and played for future generations. You know what I mean? Once a game's gone, it's gone for good. Like, as you'll see in this video, I've been going back and I've been playing, one of my favorite games, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. That game, like, it's not sold anymore. Activision sold the rights to Spider-Man games to Beanox, and then Beanox to Insomniac. That game is still, to this day, my favorite Spider-Man game. And I know it's got its problems, it has its issues and everything like that, but that's for a different video in and of itself. If you want a great review on that game, go watch White Light. I don't know, he's got a great review. Or Alex Webb, or that boy Aqua. I think all three of those guys have great videos on that game. So anyways, I don't know. This is something that I'm very passionate about, and seeing this finally have some sort of step in the right direction. Now, it's not a big step, but it's a baby step. And I think forcing these bigger companies to actually have, to actually think about the consumer sometimes is a great thing. And it's a big deal because you never saw this, you never really even see companies having a bit of a, they can just go free reign with a lot of these things. And it is sad. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna quit rambling here because I've kind of gone on for way too long. Yeah, if you liked this video, you can go ahead and give it a like. If you didn't, you can give it a dislike. Any feedback is good feedback. Tell me what you thought about this video in the comments. And if you really liked this video, you can go ahead and give me a subscribe. It'll be on screen right now. And if you want to watch another video, it'll also be on screen right now. With all that out of the way, fuck you all. Have a good night.